Think about this. Why do we yawn when someone else yawns? It's such a strange thing. You don't choose to do it, it just happens. Even thinking about yawning can sometimes make you feel like doing it yourself. It's one of those little things we experience all the time, but rarely stop to question. Anyway, let's play some chess. Did you know bananas are technically berries, but strawberries aren't? Whoever came up with the rules for naming fruit clearly wanted to confuse everyone. Anyway, the game started. I'm playing white today, so I get the first move. It's kind of funny how one move gives you the initiative, but it also gives you the responsibility of deciding how the entire game begins. No pressure, right? According to the analysis, we entered the Four Knights game, Italian variation. It's one of those openings where both sides quietly develop their pieces without taking unnecessary risks. Everything looked balanced, everything looked normal, and honestly, if you only watched the opening, you'd probably think this was going to be a calm game. It wasn't. At this point, I thought chasing the bishop with my g-pawn was a great idea. The engine, however, had other opinions. According to the analysis, all I really did was weaken my own king when there was a much better way to attack the bishop. At this point, my opponent found a brilliant move by sacrificing their knight to weaken my king side. It looked surprising at first, but the more you look at it, the more dangerous it becomes. Anyway, I took the knight with my pawn because, well, free is free. Then my opponent played knight d4, putting even more pressure on my position. It was one of those moves that doesn't look flashy, but you can feel the tension building. Then my opponent captured my knight, and just like that, the position became even more complicated. Then my opponent brought their queen into the attack, threatening a dangerous checkmate. Fortunately, I found the best defensive move and stopped the attack just in time. Then my opponent moved their queen to f6. The engine marked it as a mistake, and while I don't fully understand the reason, it gave me the initiative and the perfect chance to start attacking. At this point, my opponent started spamming checks, trying to keep my king under constant pressure. At this point, my opponent offered a queen trade, but I declined. I had my eyes on a free bishop, and that looked much more tempting. At this point, my opponent tried to attack my bishop, but according to the analysis, it was a mistake. I'm not exactly sure what they were expecting, because while they were threatening my bishop, they completely overlooked that I was threatening their rook. So instead of moving my bishop, I simply captured the rook. Then my opponent went after my rook, probably thinking I hadn't noticed the threat. Fortunately, I saw it just in time. At this point, I offered a knight trade, and my opponent accepted it without hesitation. And after all the exchanges, I had the better position, more material, and according to the analysis, I was completely winning. And there's no way I could lose from this position. I had the better position, more material, and everything was under control. And that's how the game ended. If you enjoyed watching, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more chess content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.